Hello, and welcome back to Calling Congress. As you know, last week we called Robert Garcia um, about Pam Bondi's refusal to appear and testify despite the fact that she was subpoenaed. Um, her not showing up to testify about her handling of the Epstein files. Her argument being that she's no longer Attorney General. The committee's the committee's take being that it didn't name Attorney General in the as the subpoena. It named Pam Bondi in the subpoena, and that she is still required to testify. I called Garcia's office. He is the ranking Democrat on House Oversight, House Government Oversight, and was told by his person answering the phone that it's, I don't know the details, but she's going to be held in contempt. Well, that was April 15th that I called, the day after that she did not show up. And it is now April 21st, and nobody's made a motion to hold her in contempt yet. As of right now, Garcia has sent a new letter to the chairman of the Oversight Committee, saying any attempt to evade the subpoena must be met with measures to hold Miss Bondi in contempt of Congress. But she hasn't shown up. And in addition to her not showing up, these guys haven't done it. And again, we recognize that the Democrats are in the minority here. But we also have to start recognizing that Democrats continue to say, we're going to motion for contempt. We're going to read the names of all the victims or all the perpetrators. We're going to do this, especially when it comes to all things Epstein. And they continue to make essentially empty threats about what they are going to do to hold these people accountable for what has happened. None of it's happening. Repeatedly, none of it is happening. And Pam Bondi is just out living her life now. And she should, at the very least, even if the Republican side of the House will refuse to, actually go after her in contempt of Congress or even vote on it, the Democrats need to bring the motion. It is absurd that they have not done so yet. I double checked how it works. And the committee, in this case, Oversight, would vote to recommend contempt to the full chamber. Then the full chamber of the House would have to vote if this person will be held in contempt of Congress. All I am asking for is that one of the Democrats on the committee who keeps threatening this actually bring to the committee a motion to push the vote to the whole chamber. I don't think that's too much to ask. I don't even think it needs to get to the full chamber to show people, to show us that Congress is serious about this. It would be great, but my expectations are very low at this point. And the bottom line is they all keep just saying they're going to do things and not doing it, which ultimately is going to end really badly for them just as much as it's going to end really badly for the Republicans in November. So we're going to call two more of the Democrats that are on the House Oversight Committee. We're going to call Summer Lee first, who is from the Pennsylvania 12th, and she actually introduced articles of impeachment against Pam Bondi back in March. So I would think that, she would be willing to push for a motion to hold Pam Bondi in contempt. So let's find out together, shall we?
Hello, this is Congresswoman Summer Lee. Thank you for calling my Washington, D.C. office. For the latest updates, helpful resources, thank you for calling the office of Congresswoman Summer Lee. We are currently unable to answer the phone at the moment. At the beep, please leave your full name, your home address, reason for calling, as well as a good number for us to reach you. We'll try our best to give you a call back as soon as possible. Thank you so much for your phone call, and we hope you have a wonderful day.
Hi, good afternoon, Congresswoman Lee. I'm just calling because I know you were one of the leaders in moving to actually impeach Pam Bondi, and I know that you're on the House Oversight Committee. Congressman Garcia has continued to threaten pushing for to hold Pam Bondi in contempt of Congress because of her failure to appear in accordance with her subpoena last week. I know you're on the committee. I don't understand why a motion was not immediately filed to push for contempt of Congress. I understand that you guys are in the minority and you might lose the motion, but repeatedly Democrats are saying, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then it continues to not happen, and the American people are tired of it. So I would encourage you to be that person that stands up and makes the motion and make it known that you are making the motion, because people will appreciate it. Pam Bondi needs to be held in contempt, and she needs to answer for the terrible way that she has handled the Epstein files. I know that you are a believer in all of this, so I encourage you to be the person that makes the motion that Pam Bondi be held in contempt of Congress. Thank you. Have a good one. Nobody ever answers their phone. Representative Chantel Brown from the Ohio 11th. I don't know as much about her. Let's start with the women, because the Epstein situation is, I feel, being more closely monitored by the women, other than Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna. The women of Congress have been the standouts on this. Even some of those women that are generally in line with President Trump. People like Nancy Mace, as much as there's a lot that I do not agree with at all, she has been a fairly strong advocate for releasing the full Epstein files. And she is also somebody that's on this committee. So despite the fact that there's 21 Democrats to 26 Republicans, I think you can probably, by making the motion that Pam Bondi should be held in contempt of Congress because it has to be voted on in committee first, I think you could probably peel a couple of the women off the Republican side to vote with the Democrats and push for a vote in the full chamber. So we're going to call Chantel Brown of the Ohio 11th. Let's
Hello, thanks for calling the office of Congresswoman Chantel Brown. How may I help you?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm so happy someone picked up. You're one of the few congressional offices that has somebody answering their phones. I am actually calling from the New Jersey 8th, but I am calling to basically just calling several Congress people to encourage a push for a motion to hold Pam Bondi in contempt of Congress. I know that Congresswoman Brown is on the Oversight Committee, so she would be part of the committee that would be able to push for that. Congressman Garcia has repeatedly threatened that Pam Bondi will be held in contempt of Congress for not appearing in accordance with her subpoena, but it's been a week and nothing has happened. As far as I'm aware, and please correct me if I'm wrong, any member can make the motion. So I'm just calling representatives to encourage them to be the person that America needs and be the person to stand up and make the motion to hold Pam Bondi in contempt.
Of course, and I'm personally not too familiar with the particular motions that can be called by each member of Congress to hold individuals in contempt. But I will be sure to pass along your message about support for any future endeavors to do so as relates to former Attorney General Pam Bondi as well.
Okay, thank you so much. You have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I mean, I double checked with some people, and as far as I know, any member can at least file the motion. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. If I am, by all means, someone correct me. But for me not to know is different than someone who works as a congressional aide. I cannot express how infuriating it is. And I know there's a lot of weird, intricate parliamentary rules involved in Congress. But I cannot express how frustrating it is as a voting member of the public, as somebody who gives a damn about my country, that almost no one ever answers the phone. And when they do answer the phone, no one has an answer to even the most basic questions that we are asking. And this is on both sides of the aisle. This board behind me, which I know you can't really see, is people that I have called in both the House and Senate. And I've called a ton of Republicans and a ton of Democrats on both sides. More Democrats on the Senate side. But nobody ever knows what's going on when they answer the phone. What's happening? Teach people how to answer the phone and give an answer to the questions of the people that are paying your salaries and putting you in office. Because we will also be the ones to take you out of office. Call your representatives.